I'm super excited that I now get to talk a little bit about AI in the job search. I'm going to give it a little bit more time before I get started, but I am super excited. Give folks a little bit of time to enter. I'm super duper excited to be talking about AI in the workspace, in the workspace, in the job search. It's all happening. I know I'm on LinkedIn a lot, and a lot of people do not like the fact that AI is sort of creeping into the job search and it's making its way in. But I'm extremely excited, like I mentioned before, that AI is, I don't want to say it's taking over, I don't want to scare people, but it's here to stay. And I think the best time to learn how to use AI tools for the job search is now. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it off. As people join, they can continue to join, but I'm super excited to be here and also be sharing what I know about AI. So let's get started. So I'm going to kick it off and I'm going to go through a presentation that I put together, and get your notepads, get everything out, because you'll want to take notes, you'll want to rewatch this, and you'll want to use it as you are job searching. So this is AI and how to use AI in your job search and in your job hunt, but also some do's and don'ts, because when you're using a tool for the first time, of course, there'll be some mistakes, some pitfalls. So I want to make sure that you're prepared and that you don't fall into those common pitfalls. So, first, as I'm talking about pitfalls, common pitfalls. So, I don't know if you're on LinkedIn or not, but if you are on LinkedIn, you can start to kind of tell who's used AI and who hasn't. You'll see words like embark and journey and then explore. All of those are dead giveaways that you've used AI, because AI, especially if you use ChatGPT, it likes to throw in these fluff words that don't make any sense for the sentence. They're often called buzzwords, and they can raise some red flags for recruiters, of course, but now everyday people can start to see, and they know what these buzzwords are. So do a little bit of research and make sure that you aren't using some of those key buzzwords that AI likes to throw in there. Another common pitfall is copying and pasting straight from an AI tool. So you want to make sure that it's realistic. A lot of times AI will kind of guess and, like I mentioned before, fluff up your experience or the work that you've done. So you want to make sure that it's accurate. You're not lying. AI is meant to enhance, not lie. So please avoid copying and pasting straight from a tool. Make sure you're editing anything that you take from an AI tool. Next up is over optimizing. So when you start to get the groove of being in an AI tool, you'll start to want to use it for everything, and you'll kind of become like a perfectionist. Like, you don't think so right now, but you will. You'll start to become a perfectionist. You'll want everything on your resume, everything in your cover letter, everything in your short answers to be AI reviewed. So you would want to put it in AI and then tell AI to review it or to add to it or to beef it up. And that's kind of dangerous as well. So you have to learn how to balance using AI, but also using you as a person. You're unique. You're not like anyone else while you're searching for a job, and you have skills that other people don't have. So you want to make sure that shines through as you are submitting your resume, your cover letters, your short answers, whatever you want to use AI for, just make sure you don't become over reliant or stuff too many keywords into the work that you're really your marketing materials, I like to call, for job seekers, because it starts to sound a little bit robotic if you do. So next up, I talked a lot about the pitfalls. So those are like the dangers and the things that people do while they're using AI tools in their job searching, and they don't always realize that they're doing it. So now I'm going to move into the do's. So you do want to use AI to optimize your marketing materials, your job seeker marketing materials. That's your resume, your cover letter if needed. I'm kind of against cover letters, but some people still want them and use them. So if you're using a cover letter, I 100% think you should also be using AI tools to help you. And then also those short answer forms, that's another sneaky way for companies to ask for a cover letter without actually asking for a cover letter. So you just want to make sure that you're using AI tools to work smarter, not harder. So when you see those short answer form boxes, or they're asking for a cover letter, or you're looking at your resume and you're not sure if you are accurately stating the impact that you've made, then of course you can lean on an AI tool to optimize your resume and all the other things I just mentioned. What you want to do is, what I like to do is I like to take job descriptions. So if you have an actual job description or multiple job descriptions, I like to drop it all inside of an AI tool. You can use ChatGPT. And then I also like to upload an image or PDF of my resume to the tool. And then I hit enter and I say, review my resume, make sure that it makes sense for the industry and the jobs that I'm applying to. If not, what are some things that I need to change? And if you do that, then the AI tools will do a good job of giving you an overview of what you're missing on your resume, especially if you are putting in a job description or industry. And a lot of times, an industry, a specific industry, and especially in a specific job, they have commonalities that they look for, because of course they have to keep up with the trends that are happening in that industry or in that job. So if your resume is far left and it has nothing to do with the industry or the job that you're applying to, then AI will 100% call that out. Another thing that AI is great for and that you should use it for is interview preps. I don't know about you, but I don't have a million people who want to help me prep for an interview. So why not just use an AI tool that's available 24/7? All you do, if your AI tool of choice is ChatGPT, is put in a job description like before, and then ask it to generate some questions for you. And you can even ask it to generate by easy, medium, and hard, so that you can be 100% prepared. There will be no curveballs. And then it'll actually be using the job description that you give it, so that it's not a blanket practice round. And if you are, like I think you should be, applying to a specific industry and a specific job type, then you'll be 100% prepared, because most of the roles in the industry that you're going for should be similar. So if you're practicing for your interview, you should the interview questions that the AI tools give you should run the gamut, and you'll be 100% prepared for that job. Another thing that you should be doing with AI is using it to help you plot out your career path. So a lot of times people know where they are and where they're starting. They know the skills that they have. Some people do, some people don't. But they don't know where to go from there, or they don't know what's possible. They get stuck in a rut and they think that where they are is where they'll be forever. And that's just not true. Like, for instance, for me, I started off in tech, then I moved into media for a while. I moved into startups, still in the media space. then moved into education, and now I'm in workforce development. So the possibilities are endless. You can move in and out of industries, and you can pivot and change jobs, but you don't know that unless most of the time, unless you know somebody who's in that space and they tell you about a role and you become curious and you explore, or unless you're working for someone and they tell you about it and you want to dive deeper, or they leave a company and they want to bring you with them. So like a lot of times you're not exposed to things unless someone tells you about it. But the good thing about AI is that like no one has to tell you. You can say everything that you're interested in. You can put what you've done. You can even attach your resume, and then you can say, generate roles or companies or industries that are emerging and growing that I can pursue. And then AI will simply give you paths, it'll give you companies, it'll give you roles, it'll give you a whole bunch of things that run the gamut, so that you're not having to sit there and reach out to a bunch of people who may or may not respond to your message, or reach out to your colleagues who you may or may not like, or even read a bunch of things online. Like it's a waste of time, and it could be beneficial, but I always believe in the job search, especially in career planning. It's easier to work smarter, not harder. There's so much information. Why not just get it tailored to you and what you care about? So that is how AI can help. And then last but not least, we can talk a little. AI can help you speak to and know about the job market insights, like what's happening. Like I mentioned before, you can easily ask AI what the emerging trends are, which industries are growing, and you don't have to do a super long Google search. It'll tell you what are the emerging trends. Simply ask it, what are the emerging trends? And you'll know right away what the emerging trends are. So now let's talk a little bit about a few don'ts. And I talked up front a little bit about the pitfalls, and these are very similar. But I just want to really make sure that you are not falling into the AI spiral and the AI trap. And if you do, that could be the reason why you're not seeing the results that you may be wanting to see in your own job search. So let's talk a little bit about being overly reliant on AI. Like I mentioned before, AI cannot replace like having a human touch, especially when it comes to getting your foot in a door. So it can help bolster you a little bit on paper, but you still need to show up. You can't hide behind AI. So don't become over reliant on it. So for instance, you still have to network, even though I know some people don't like networking in the job search. You have to have those personal connections. You have to be showing your face. You have to be out in person. If you're not an in-person person, start joining some webinars, some workshops, some online virtual things, some Slack communities. All of those are examples of ways where you can meet new people. And it's not AI, it's still technology, but there's a bit of a human connection that's happening because you're joining communities and organizations where people also want to connect. So that's an easy way to get connected with people while still using technology, and it's not 100% AI. Another thing that you want to make sure that you look out for is becoming be going the direction of only thinking AI is right and ignoring humans. Human people still know what they're talking about. The humans are the ones who hire you at the end of the day. So AI it cannot 100% replace having a mentor or a coach or someone who is familiar with the particular industry or role that you're interested in, especially if they have years of experience. AI is kind of like a scraper. It scrapes, it learns based on what people give it and what you give it, but there's nothing like having a human touch and a human person who's actually been where you've been. So 100% investing in a mentor or a coach in person can help. And then, of course, having AI as a little sidekick, as a little reminder to keep you moving forward is the best mashup. And then, last but not least, there are a ton of AI tools, and some of my favorite ones include the ones that let you easily apply for roles. But I want to be 100% clear that you do not want to mass apply and spam people's databases, especially if it's roles that you know 100% you are not the right person for, you don't have the skill set. Even if you are developing the skill set, one thing that I learned when I was going through the job search is that a lot of people called out that I was too junior for a specific role, or I had too much experience for a particular role. When you are doing your job search, it's 100% super important to be super clear about where you stand. I know we all have aspirations to punch up. And when I say punch up, that means if you are currently a coordinator and you really think that you are ready for a manager role, but as you're applying, you're getting denied for manager roles, maybe reconsider and look at specialist roles or associate level role, or senior associate level roles, or senior coordinator roles. Like, you're still punching up, but it's not super high where it's like a manager role and you've never managed people, you've never managed campaigns, or you've never managed a set of processes, and you would be 100% overwhelmed in a role, in a manager role. Whereas if you were in a role that was maybe like a step down or two steps down, you would still learn a lot, but you would be a higher level than where you are right now. So that I'll say all of that to say, just be very clear about your skill set, what you can do, where you are, and then if you couple that with AI, you'll be 100% in a better position when you want to mass apply, as opposed to mass applying and not being super clear about your skill set and where you would thrive the best. So I'm going to keep it pushing. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my favorite AI prompts. And I love these so much because they're super helpful and they touch on some of the things that I talked about in the do's, like what you want to be using AI for. So number one, my first favorite prompt is resume optimization. And a prompt that you can ask an AI tool is, can you provide feedback on the clarity and impact of my resume? So that's an important question because it'll do a couple of things. One, it'll of course give you feedback, and AI doesn't have feelings, so it'll tell you the truth. Two, it'll give you clarity. Like, it'll tell you if your resume is clear and if it's not. And if it's not clear, it'll tell you how to provide more clarity for the type of jobs that you're going for. And then last but not least, the number one important thing that a resume is supposed to do is show your impact. So it's not supposed to be a word for word of a job description or a past job that you've had. It's not supposed to explain. It's supposed to show. It's supposed to show what you've done, how you've made your mark wherever you are, and then how you can make that same mark in whatever company that you're applying to or for. So 100%, that's a really great prompt to get some clarity around your resume. Number two, job searching. A prompt that I love is, help me identify potential emerging career paths based on my interests, skills, and experience. So you'll put that prompt in an AI tool, and then it'll say, of course, can you give me some background on your interests, skills, and experience? So to show your experience, you can simply just upload a resume, super easy. To show your interest, though, you'll need to type out the things that you're curious about, interested in. Don't hold back. Just like put it all down, let it all come out. AI can handle it. It's a big boy and big girl. And then last but not least, you can include some of your skills, but if you're uploading your resume should include the skills that you have. So there's really no need to add more skills if you don't want to. But if you would like to expand on the skills that are listed in your attached resume, then you can do that as well. And then you hit enter and it'll give you a ton of jobs, a ton of industries, a ton of markets that you can be exploring based on your resume. And then last but not least, interview prep. Like I mentioned before, AI is golden for interview prep. It never gets tired. You can sit there with it for hours and it'll help you. So one that I really like to ask is, what are some potential interview questions for? And then you enter your job title. For me, it would be something like career coach or marketing consultant or something like that. And then I'd say based on the job description. And then I would insert the job description right below that prompt. And then it'll start to generate a bunch of questions for me that I could be asking. So these are 100% super cool. I love these prompts. And this is like a job searching starter pack when it comes to AI prompting. Super helpful. And then here's some more prompts, and these are more geared towards success in your career beyond the job search. I really do think job searching is a means to an end. Like once you get a job, you have that job, but then you really need to be thinking about where that job can take you. Your career is super strategic, so it's important to be super strategic in your career as well. So here are a couple of more prompts. So number one, this is a strength analysis. Can you help me identify my career strengths and weaknesses? If you've been giving the AI tool all of the things, your resume, your skills, your interests, it'll be able to help you further develop that and give you a strengths analysis. Next is a skills development. Once again, if you've given it your resume, you told it all your aspirations, then it'll help you start to collect and connect the dots. So for instance, this prompt says, identify skill gaps in my current skill set and create a personalized learning plan. Super, super simple prompt, but it'll have large returns for you. And then last but not least, goal setting. Goals are super important in your career. Beyond the job search, you need to have goals. You need to know where you're going. You don't want to be blind as you think through your career. One thing in a quote that someone sent to me one time, it said something like, if you don't have goals for yourself, someone else will plan out your life or plan out your goals. And it's 100% true. When I was early in my career, I really had zero. I had some clue, but not 100% of a clue of what I could do with all of my skills. And so I would raise my hand for things that I knew I wanted to do, but my main job was not that thing. So I had like fake fake control of my career while I was still doing work that somebody else had set up for me. So no, no, no. I ever since then, I like to help and I like to talk to people and say, hey, you got to have some career goals. The people who you work for, they hire you for a particular thing, but that may not be what you want to do all the time. So this is a really great way. This prompt is a really great way to help start to get some goals in place and in mind. And it's simple. It says, help me create smart career goals based on my current position and aspirations. So you just you insert your resume or you tell it the role that you have. And then once again, like a diary, you just tell it where you want to go, what you want to be doing, what you're curious about, and it'll help put together a smart goal breakdown for you. And this is something that I really like to think through. And this is just a quick wrap up of everything that I talked about. What AI tools are best for? They're best when they help you optimize your resume and you're not 100% leaning on them to do all the work. They're great for AI interview prep. They can spew out so many questions, help you get it together. They're great when it comes to exploring your career. You're starting somewhere, but you don't know where you want to go, or you're starting somewhere, you have an idea, but you don't know how to get there. AI tools are great for that. Job recommendations. There are a million jobs under the sun, and there are more being created every single day. AI is great for helping you connect the dots, find the missing pieces, the things that you may not know about. It can help you. And then market trends and insights. There are a bunch of emerging industries and trends happening, and it's so hard to keep up with it, but AI has you, they have you covered. So use AI tools for that as well. And I want to introduce you to one of my favorite tools. It's my favorite because I worked with a team super hard to develop this tool. And one of the reasons I worked to develop it is because there are a million AI tools under the sun. And I got tired of having a million tabs open, scratching my head. They weren't easy to use. They were giving me a bunch of stuff that I didn't need. I was like, I need to create something that's super helpful for job seekers, super helpful for people beyond their job search. So, like that long term career planning that I was talking about. And this team helped me develop this one stop shop tool, and I call it Career Copilot. It's a blessing. It has 4 tools, all the tools that you need for your job search, as well as past your job search when you're planning your career. It has an AI career coach, and that is available 24/7, unlimited to everyone. If you have a quick question, go there, ask the career coach, and it'll help you. A resume analyzer. This, you throw your resume in there, you throw a job description in there, and it'll tell you what you need to correct on your resume in order to land that job. It'll tell you how likely you are to get the job, whether you're qualified or not. And then it'll also tell you, it'll give you some resume bullet points to add to your resume to help you land that role. It also has an interview coach, so you don't have to go searching the web for the interview coach, all right there. And then it has a career explorer, career path maker. Like I mentioned before, I want to quickly show you some of the tools because I'm super excited about it. So like as you log in, this is your dashboard. It's so fun. I love it. Um, I'll start with like the interview coach. Like I mentioned before, you can set up an interview. You can ask, there are interview topics and roles that are already in here, but you can create your own if you want. And you can even have a general interview. You simply start, it has the question, you can answer it with your microphone or you can type your answer. I'm just gonna put, I don't know, because I don't know. And then you click done, it loads a little bit. And then it'll tell you like if your responses were actually on task, if the experience that you have matches with the experience of the question that is asking. And then it'll also search for role related terms like, are you even talking about what you're supposed to be talking about while you're doing this mock interview? So cool, super excited. I love that. And then also there is a career path explorer. So like I mentioned before, I can, like, I'm a marketing professional, so I type in marketing consultant and then I type in an area, so I'll go to New York, yay. And then this tool will help me explore my path beyond just being a marketing consultant or a marketing professional who lives in New York. And I love that so much because it's so needed. Say you fell into the role of being a marketer or being in workforce development, and the tool is being angry right now. So I'll have to show this in another video, but it's still super cool. But say that you worked in marketing in New York and you just feel like you're stuck there. This tool is super amazing because it'll help you plot out where you can go next just based on being a consultant in New York. It'll show you, it'll say things like a brand marketer. It'll say things like, brand marketers make this much money in New York, and this is where you can go beyond being a brand marketer. It'll also show you currently open brand marketing roles, and I love that as well. And then last but not least, the prized resume analyzer that I talked about. So I already have a resume preloaded here, and I'll quickly show you what it looks like. And it just looks like this. It's a basic resume. It's for a guidance counselor. And I put it together. I whipped it up. You can select a platform where you want to grab a job link, and then you just go to that platform. You go to that platform, and you grab a job link from the platform, like I'm doing here, and then you drop it here, and then it'll analyze your resume, it'll analyze the job description, and then it'll tell you what you need to change. It'll give you, like, it'll tell you if you're qualified. I am 100% qualified according to the resume I uploaded. And then it'll give me a very sweet and nice little talking to about what I need to work on and what I need to change. And then as if I click next, it'll tell me my skills that I need to work on and that I might be missing. So, for instance, the job that I uploaded was a career counselor at a college. The resume that I uploaded was a counselor at a high school. So, imagine that I'm a counselor at a high school and I want to punch up. This is what I would need to work on in order to get that role that I'm looking for, which is that counseling role as a college counselor. And then here are some bullet points. So it's actually looking at my resume, looking at the job description, and telling me and giving me some resume bullet points that I should think about adding to my resume. Once again, this is an AI tool. So these numbers may 100% be blown out of proportion. So I really need to take a look at, for instance, the number of workshops that I've hosted as a counselor, and then the number of students. That just says 300 students, but what if I helped 1,000 students? I really need to make sure that these numbers are correct, but this is the perfect way that you form a bullet point to stand out in the job market. And lovely, lovely people, that is it. Here are some bonus tools for you. Zeti is one that helps you put together a resume. It's an AI tool. Lunch Club is also an AI tool. It's a super connector. It helps you network with people that you may have never come in contact with, just simply by telling it that you want to connect. And then Simplify, you can apply to jobs with one click. It's super amazing. I love it. I use it all the time. I talk about it all the time. And honestly, these are 3 killer AI tools plus Career Copilot that I just showed you. Super duper helpful. It's amazing as well. But use these tools. And I hope this helped. And I hope your job search is easy, and that it's not super stressful for you. Job searching can be super stressful, but with some AI tools, it 100% can be made easy. So good luck and see you next time. Bye.